On.
Okay, so this is my summary of learning for EDTC300. I can't believe that it's actually the end of this class. So this is just going to be some of the stuff that I've learned over the course of the past 7 weeks. I don't have a lot of writing in this PowerPoint just because I feel like I could explain it better through myself talking, but I do have some visuals and stuff. So yeah, so I'll just get started. First of all, I've learned a lot in this class, way more than I thought I was. I originally decided to take this class because I needed one more education elective, as well as I just thought it would be a fun and practical class because I don't like some of the classes that you have to take that you can actually really use the information in a practical setting, especially since I'm going into my internship in the fall. I wanted something that I would be able to use. And it was all that, but it was so much more, which I really appreciated. So, first of all, what did I think of this class? I think that's smiley face says it all. I really, really enjoyed this class. I thought, yeah, I learned so much, and it was very, very practical for me. I would definitely recommend this class to others who are thinking of taking um, taking a class like this. I would definitely recommend it. Uh, there was just it was very, very valuable, and you can use the stuff that we learned inside of classroom or just in our everyday lives, which I think is really cool. So the first part of this class that I want to talk about is our professional online presence. Now, this isn't something that I thought about a lot because I don't have a huge online presence and I don't want to have a big online presence. I just will occasionally post stuff on like Instagram, but I never posted stuff on Twitter or Facebook really. I'm just kind of more on there and I like to see what other people do, but I don't like to have that presence myself. But this class kind of taught me why having an online presence is a good thing. I'll just skip down to my second point, or second and third points there is we have an online presence no matter what. I mean, if you don't go online at all, you won't have an online presence, but if you are online, then you have an online presence. And we should fill our online profiles with positive messages in case something kind of negative happens. So we talked about a few different examples. The Amanda Todd case we watched a documentary on, and we talked a little bit about the controversy that can sometimes happen if you say something online. Um, you can't take it back, and so even if that does happen to you and it may not be your fault, your online presence should reflect kind of not the best parts of you, but um, a positive. Um, it should have a positive message to it. So if something controversial does happen, you can kind of back yourself up with your positive online presence. So I thought that was really interesting, and I hadn't thought about it that way before because my online presence is very, very limited. If I was caught up in some controversy, I couldn't really defend myself because there wouldn't be really anything online to defend myself. So that's kind of interesting. I don't think that'll really change much for me, though. I don't think I'm going to have a huge online presence afterwards, but it's still interesting to think about. And then another one I just put on there was language, because I think that's an important part, and it kind of goes along with the other one, is just having a positive language online and being professional. And as teachers, we need to try and be as professional online as possible, just the same as we'd be professional in a classroom. So the second part was about using Twitter, and I didn't really like this part. I honestly didn't tweet as much as I should have. I don't really like using Twitter that much. I hadn't used it in a really, really long time before this class, and to be honest, I didn't even know that Twitter was as big of a social media platform as it is. But yes, it was kind of interesting to try something new for a bit. So I put on there using hashtags. I know how to use hashtags and I've used them before, like for Instagram and stuff, but I think I got a little bit of a better sense of what they were used for. And then also the second point I had was building a community. We did the Sask Ed chat, which I thought was really cool. And there is like a whole community of people on Twitter, and you can interact with them and learn from them too. And then just again, professionalism. Um, I do think that Twitter is maybe one of the more professional social media sites as opposed to Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat. I think you can be very professional on Twitter. And if I was going to have a bigger online presence that I normally do, I would definitely use Twitter for that because of how professional it can be. All right, so blogging, this is my favorite part of the class. I was most familiar with it, and I'd used it for most of my other classes. And so I was, yeah, I was glad that I could use it again for this class. And I'll just kind of go out of this slideshow for a minute. And whoops, there's my Twitter. So here is my blog. I kind of wish I would have taken a screenshot of what it used to look like because it has changed a lot over this semester, and I feel like everything's really, really clean. I've put like my unit plans and lesson plans up, and yeah, so I've really, really enjoyed kind of almost perfecting my blog, and so this was definitely my favorite part of the class, is really learning how to kind of use some of those fine details, like making kind of, or those dead pages, so you didn't actually click on anything in your menus or however that worked, and just, yeah, figuring out those little things to really make my blog a more inviting space. So this was definitely my favorite part of the class, is just learning how to blog better. And then the learning project. So I still have yet to put up my final learning project post, but that will be up before the end of the week. This was really cool. It was fun to get to learn something new, although it was kind of frustrating. If you've seen any of my videos for it, you probably could tell I was like slightly frustrated. I didn't learn as much as I wanted to because it was a little more challenging, but it was really fun, and I got to find new resources, and I learned how to put stuff on YouTube, and yeah, so it was a really, really cool idea. I really liked this as a project, and it really helped me become a little bit more, I think, tech savvy, which was the point, I think. So yeah, no, that was really, really good and fun part of the class as well. So to sum everything up, what will I continue to do moving forward? The biggest thing I learned is just being aware of my online presence. In a year from now, I'll be graduated and I'll hopefully get a job. And I want everything about me to be professional. And so if someone Googles my name, I want to have a positive online presence. So just being uber aware of what is online and what I could do to make it better. My second thing is I probably won't use Twitter that much. Again, like I just said, it's not my favorite thing, and I didn't really like doing it in the class, but I'm glad I get to learn more. And then the last thing I was thinking about is whether I should blog my internship or not. Maybe not like every day, but maybe I could do like a weekly wrap up, put and just have a place for all my lesson plans and resources. So that's something I might do, and hopefully I'll be able to learn a little bit more about blogging that way too. So that is my summary of learning, and yeah, thanks for the class.